England Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman and Chris Collinsworth. This week-long party in Jacksonville, Florida will culminate with a football game. And it should be a lot of fun. The Philadelphia Eagles getting their first crack at a Super Bowl since the 1980 season and trying to win their first NFL championship since 1960. On the other side, you've got the New England Patriots trying to win for the third time in the last 4 years. And Chris, it's remarkable in this salary cap era, guys coming and going, that under Bill Belichick, they've been able to accomplish what they have, even to this point.
Yeah, and regardless of what happens out here today, this will always be remembered as a very special team. But if they win today, they become a dynasty.
Romeo Crennel, who is headed off to the Cleveland Browns, most likely after this game, as their next head coach. That'll be the matchup to start, and we play for the NFL championship. This is Rod Hood. Rod Hood with a great start for the Eagles as he takes it out across the 35. They will mark him down just shy of the 40. And Donovan McNabb heads to work. During the regular season, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The only quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 30 and throw fewer than 10 interceptions.
And as good as he was during the regular season, Joe, he's been that much better here in the playoffs.
Terrell Owens making the start at the bottom of your screen. A blitz from New England to start. Eagles pick it up, and McNabb is flushed. In trouble. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Terrell Owens, the intended receiver. And the Patriots were all over Donovan McNabb. Colvin was there. Pfeiffer was there. And he was getting chased and just able to get rid of it. You look at the offensive linemen for the Philadelphia Eagles, and a lot on the shoulders of Hank Fraley. Sam Oliver telling us about the back spasms that have bothered Trey Thomas. And the backs and receivers, Terrell Owens, 6 weeks after surgery to repair that broken right ankle, starting and right now in motion. Play action from McNabb, and the pass is complete to that man Owens. It gives a shove to Randall Gay and a pickup of 7.
Well, Terrell Owens is certainly getting a warm reception from this crowd, or at least half of it, going in short motion. And just off the bootleg action here, this is what Terrell Owens can do for this team. Just creating some opportunities in open space. And I've got to think, just catching the ball, getting his hands on it, getting hit mildly that first time, all of a sudden you begin to settle down, because remember, he has not played for a long time.
Injured December 19th against Dallas. Had 2 screws and a plate put in that broken right ankle. 6 weeks later, here he is starting. Blitz. McNabb somehow stays on his feet, loses the football. And the Patriots have it. Teddy Bruschi was the first one there. McGinnis knocked it away, and it's an early turnover as the Patriots will take over.
Well, you got to take a look at where the pressure comes from right here. Teddy Bruschi, number 54, he comes inside, and that's because the tackle, John Runyon, blocked out. Jermaine Mayberry blocks down, and it leaves the open void, and Donovan McNabb never sees him coming.
You know, McNabb and the Eagles come out in those spread formations, and every time they've done it thus far, the Patriots have come after them and attacked them with this blitz.
Philadelphia is challenged that the quarterback's knee was down prior to losing the football.
Clearly the knee's on the ground while he still has possession of the ball, and yet the defense right now is out on the field.
Well, I'm not so sure that they've ever shown it here in the stadium.
After review, the quarterback's knee was down at the 36-yard line. Philadelphia retains possession of the ball. It'll be 4th down. Philadelphia is not charged with their first timeout. No charged timeout.
Boy, just a fantastic job by Andy Reid and his staff to have seen that quickly, because it looked like everybody on the field had more or less just assumed that, yes, it was a fumble. They pick it up, and a huge start to the game for Andy Reid.
It was a 3rd down and 3 play. So it brings up 4th down and brings Dirk Johnson, a second-year punter out of Northern Colorado, out onto the field with Troy Brown, the versatile Troy Brown, waiting deep for New England. Mike Bartram, a former Patriot, the long snapper for the Eagles. And a good punt. Brown from about the 20. Labinjo downfield for Philadelphia, 7-yard return. And here comes Tom Brady, already a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Out onto the field. And if you ask Corey Dillon about Tom Brady, he says when we get into the huddle, I just look at Tom Brady, we look to our leader, and he tells us how we're supposed to act.
Well, yeah, and especially when you're going into a Super Bowl, you're always concerned about how the players are going to react to the emotion and the magnitude of the game. Corey Dillon admits that he gets nervous before each and every ball game, and that Tom Brady has a calming influence on him.
On 1st down, a blitz. Patriots pick it up, and wide open is Branch. Deion Branch is wrestled down at the 44-yard line. Trotter was coming on the blitz, and a tremendous pickup by Corey Dillon.
Well, you think about all the things that Corey Dillon can do as a running back, but this time it's blitz pickup. He's a big guy and was able to pick up Trotter and give Tom Brady just enough time. Brady makes a nice little move out of the pocket, and if the Philadelphia Eagles are going to blitz, they have to get there. You can't give Tom Brady that much time.
15-yard completion to Branch, and movement by Matt Light, the left tackle.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Well, you know his name for not a very good reason, but we look at the rest of the offensive line. They consider Matt Light their best offensive lineman. Copen is from Philly. Brandon Gorin, the right tackle. Gorin and Light were teammates at Purdue. Tight end is Daniel Graham, and the receivers, Branch, Patton. We'll see a lot of Gibbons and Troy Brown. This is Dillon getting it for the first time, and Dillon picked up 4. Javon Curse on that tackle, and it's Curse who's not headed to the Pro Bowl, but who had a fantastic season, starting at defensive end across from Derek Burgess, who was the NFL Defensive Player of the Week for what he did against the Atlanta Falcons. The linebackers, Trotter's made such a difference in the middle, helping to stop the run for Philadelphia. 3 Pro Bowlers in the secondary for the Eagles. The guy left out that list, Sheldon Brown. Belichick's more impressed with him than Lito Shepherd. Dillon gets it, trying to maintain his balance, and Dillon gets it to the 45, picked up 2. 3rd long coming up for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised this early in the ball game. Jim Johnson electing to bring some pressure. Had a chance to visit with him a couple of days ago. He said he was reluctant to come after Tom Brady early. He wanted to see first if he could get pressure with his front 4. Already early in this game, we've seen Jim Johnson dial up the blitz.
Well, I think the Patriots were anticipating a blitz to screen the perfect call, but still unable to execute it.
3rd down and 9. Eagles are coming again. Brady with all day down the middle of the field. The pass incomplete, with Patton the intended receiver.
Well, now you're seeing some of the strategy for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. They know the Eagles are going to blitz.
Michael Lewis, Rod Hood were defending for Philadelphia, and Patton is just happy to be able to get up and get off the field after that sandwiched hit. 2 return men are back for Philadelphia. As Josh Miller punts it, this one will head out of bounds, and it looks to be a brilliant punt. Well, the New England Patriots and their fans have to hope this isn't a bad omen. It's one of the few mistakes this guy's made in years. He went to the wrong bench. After leaving the tunnel, he went over to the Eagles sideline, and somebody said, hey, coach, we're on the other side.
I think Philadelphia would take him, though, don't you?
Anybody would take him. They got a pretty good guy themselves.
Sure do.
Starting from their 7. McNabb hands it to Westbrook, and he is swallowed up. Seymour right in the middle of it, and here's a guy who hasn't played since injuring his knee at the end of December. Richard Seymour, Keith Traylor, who will show you how to move and shake, Ty Warren, and the linebackers. It's a 3-4 defense. Teddy Bruschi is headed to his first Pro Bowl. And the secondary, a couple of young corners. A young safety along with the veteran Rodney Harrison. Harrison playing in his third Super Bowl. Second down and 12 after Westbrook lost 2. Quick throw. Terrell Owens. He has 2 catches already. And so much for him being a decoy as he's run out of bounds by Harrison. Gain of 9.
Well, I don't care if Terrell Owens can barely walk out there. Anytime Donovan McNabb sees him one-on-one against a rookie like Randall Gay, he's just going to raise up and throw the ball. The Patriots came into this game. They were telling us they were going to treat Terrell Owens just like any other receiver until he proves otherwise.
Terrell Owens, the all-pro, not Terrell Owens, the hobbler, as they hand on third down to Westbrook. He gets only 1, and it's time for another Philadelphia punt. Mike Vrabel on the stop. One of their defensive leaders, Teddy Bruschi, heads off the field, and it's another stop for the Patriots defense.
Well, I think one of the real keys for Philadelphia offensively is not getting predictable within their play calling. The Pittsburgh Steelers certainly did that in the championship game. Andy trying to mix it up there on third down.
Another good punt from Johnson. And a fair catch called for by Brown. Brady is a guy who has started his postseason career 8-0. That's the best start ever since the guy to my right, Troy Aikman, started 7-0. He is the youngest quarterback to start 3 Super Bowls. And if he should somehow become MVP of this Super Bowl, he would match the great Joe Montana, who is right now the only 3-time Super Bowl MVP winner. It has been a remarkable start for Tom Brady as he hands to Dillon. Dillon runs to his right and picks up 3. During training camp of his rookie year on the best decision this franchise has ever made. That'll cost New England 5.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And what we've already seen is by the linebackers getting up in the line of scrimmage for the Philadelphia Eagles, they've had some false starts. Of course, they got Matt Light on the previous series, and this New England offensive line is a little anxious at the line of scrimmage.
Now you're getting back into blitz territory for Jim Johnson. Once you get second or third and long, he starts coming usually.
4 wide receivers for the Patriots. Quick throw. Pass is complete to Branch. And Branch wrapped up immediately by Trotter after picking up 8.
You know, it's going to be interesting today. Jeremiah Trotter certainly has made a huge difference defensively against the run for the Philadelphia Eagles since he's come into the lineup at the midway point. This team is averaging giving up 50 fewer yards rushing in these games. But Tom Brady, when you play against him, he has a way of manipulating linebackers with his eyes and with his pump fakes. We'll have to keep an eye on how he does against the pass today.
Third down and 4. Blitz. Brady fires. Pass complete. Shepard on the stop. Lito Shepard, who is from Jacksonville, Florida, came up, made the hit, a gain of only 2, and a Patriots punt is coming.
And whenever Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, whenever he anticipates blitz, this is what he'll do. He'll bring the formation down to pack it in order to try to create protection. Now he gets a guy out in the flat, a safe pass. But look at Lito Shepard, the job that he does driving on the ball to keep them from picking up the first down.
Westbrook and Mahe waiting deep for Philadelphia. Westbrook shows a good burst and gets it out just past the 26. So far no score, 7:31 left first quarter. Third possession for Philadelphia. McNabb's going to air it out. Pinkston, the intended receiver, and he was underthrown. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, nothing short of a Herculean effort to get T.O.'s ankle ready for the game this week. His personal chiropractor and massage therapist came in from Atlanta to work on him. Also, Owens had a hyperbaric chamber brought in. He spent a great deal of time in it this week, even sleeping in it overnight. He believes in its healing effects, Joe, although the Eagles approach it in a more conventional sense. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thanks. I think it was Austin Powers that made that hyperbaric chamber famous. And you see the legs and the running of Terrell Owens. Donovan McNabb said he only sees him limp when he's coming back to the huddle. Westbrook gets it as they drop it off to him. Brown misses on a tackle, and Westbrook picks up a first down. Troy Brown had a shot to bring down Westbrook, but whiffed.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles, they like to run a variety of screens, a variety of ways. Watch Michael Westbrook. He'll come up, act like he's going to help in protection, just turns right back around. Donovan gets the ball right into his hands. Just nice execution there by the Philadelphia Eagles.
And what we're seeing so far out of the Patriots defensively, they're bringing both outside linebackers a lot.
Handoff is to Dorsey Levens, who already has a Super Bowl ring. Got that with the Green Bay Packers. He picked up 2.
You know, it's interesting. This is, in my opinion, Troy, one of the better screen teams in the Philadelphia Eagles and one of the better screen defending teams in the New England Patriots. They have so many veteran players at that linebacker position. A lot of times you'll see teams trying to sneak somebody out on a screen, and the defensive tackle who you think is rushing will just level the guy.
2nd down and 9 after Levens got 1.5 yards. Westbrook now in the backfield. McNabb rolls, fires out of the reach of L.J. Smith. There wasn't much there anyway, but Donovan McNabb a little juiced up on that throw.
Yeah, I think he is, and that's understandable when you get into your first Super Bowl, and like I've talked about a little bit earlier as far as how you handle the emotional elements of it, and I think that that's why earlier on that 3rd down call, Andy Reid went with the running play rather than trying to force something. But a good job there by Donovan McNabb getting outside the pocket. Nothing there rather than force something, just unload it.
3rd down and 9. Blitz. Eagles pick it up, and the pass is caught by L.J. Smith. And it appears to be enough for an Eagles first down.
Well, L.J. Smith is going to get the credit for the catch, but it's Brian Westbrook, the outstanding running back, who's going to see this blitz coming right up the middle by Teddy Bruschi. He's going to take him, drive him out of the hole, give McNabb room to step up and complete a big pass, and he needed that one, Troy, to get a little rhythm going.
Well, he really did, and you got Roman Pfeiffer there who's on L.J. Smith, and when L.J. Smith is matched up on a linebacker in this game, that's a battle that he has to win, and he was able to win on that one.
What a catch by L.J. Smith, who really concerns Bill Belichick. Westbrook out of the backfield. Vrabel in open space, couldn't bring him down. Eventually a pickup of 3 as Randall Gay makes the stop. Let's talk a little bit about Brian Westbrook. I mean, this is a guy, you can't put him in the category of a Marshall Faulk, but the athletic ability, the speed, you can line him up as a wide receiver. He runs great pass routes. He is really the X factor, much more so than Terrell Owens coming into this game.
Well, he really is, because as an offensive coach, you're always looking for those types of players that create matchup problems, and he does that. They like it when he lines up against a defensive back as a wideout, obviously coming out of the backfield. Him along with L.J. Smith are the ones that create those problems.
On 2nd down and 7. McNabb with all day slings it too high for L.J. Smith, who was open.
And I don't think that L.J. Smith knew who the heck he was throwing that ball to. There was Smith low and another receiver high, and it went somewhere in between. So for Donovan McNabb, and we've seen this before with him, to be perfectly frank, early in games sometimes when he's getting overly jacked up, he tends to throw high, and I think on that one LJ thought it was going to somebody else.
And when Donovan McNabb makes mistakes, it's not because of poor decisions, it's generally because of poorly thrown balls.
3rd down and 7. And whistles prior to the snap.
We'll reset it to 25 seconds.
A play selection for the Eagles. Belichick will tell you this is a pass-first team. Owens, open space. Harrison chasing and out of bounds inside the 20, and a late flag comes in. A 30-yard catch and run by Terrell Owens, and this penalty is against New England.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 59. After this is to the goal, first down.
And what we saw there is Freddie Mitchell coming across on the pick, and that's what allowed Terrell Owens to become so wide open. He picked Gay, the corner, who was in coverage on Terrell Owens, and it looked like it was going to be initially a penalty for the pick.
They get Roosevelt Colvin for hitting Runyon. There wasn't a whole lot there, but by throwing his shoulder into Runyon, that brings the ball all the way down to the 8. On the heels of a 30-yard completion, Chris, on 3rd and 7.
And I've got to tell you, that was a major pick play that the officials missed on that one.
McNabb in trouble. Down he goes. Vrabel, after Colvin got there first. And a loss of 16 yards, taking it all the way back to the 24-yard line.
Well, remember, the one time that we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles look bad offensively this year was against the Pittsburgh Steelers and their 34 defense. With this scheme, the two outside linebackers are forcing a change in protection. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking both their tackles and their guards and fanning them to the outside, and that's the reason we're seeing so much blitz up the middle by Bruschi and Johnson and some of those other guys.
2nd down and goal from the 24. McNabb, corner of the end zone, a flag is down, and the pass is eventually picked off by Asante Samuel. A flag is on the field as Samuel slides down at the 29. A helmet is off. One of the Eagles is injured.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So with the illegal contact called on Roman Pfeiffer, it gives the Eagles the ball back and an automatic first down.
And they got away with one there, Philadelphia did, because Donovan just threw that ball up into the corner of the end zone. Had no chance of completing that pass. The illegal contact, however, will keep the ball in Eagles' possession.
It was L.J. Smith who was injured. He's able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. It'll be first down from the 19 when we come back. I guess it's an eventful first quarter. We don't have any score yet, but as we look at that last penalty on Roman Pfeiffer.
Really not much question about it. About 7 yards down the field, and the officials are very strict indeed this season. You cannot hit someone beyond 5 yards. It is a penalty and a huge turnaround in this ball game.
Already 4 penalties tonight called on the Patriots. This is the 10th play of the drive. And on first down from the 19, McNabb goes toward the end zone, and this one is picked off. Intercepted by Rodney Harrison. That's his 3rd interception of this postseason, and his 5th overall in the last 5 postseasons, and that one was up for grabs.
But it looks like Rodney Harrison got hurt on this play, and that is the bigger story right now.
Well, watch Rodney Harrison. He's coming over the top the entire way. He's reading Donovan McNabb. He read him on the previous play.
And here's Harrison right here. He's just going to read Donovan McNabb, who never takes his eyes off the left side of the field. And Harrison just reads it right over the top.
Harrison was able to get up and walk off the field under his own power as the Patriots start now from their own 3. Handoff is to Dillon. And Corey Dillon lowers his shoulder and gets it out to the 10. With 2.5 to play in this first quarter, no score. 2nd down and 3. Brady down the middle of the field and incomplete. Gibbons the closest to it. He was overthrown, and then Michael Lewis was closer to it really than Gibbons for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and coming into this game, Charlie Weiss and this offense really knew that if they're going to be able to create chunks of yards and get points, that they're going to have to take some shots down the field. And on that play, by motioning into an empty set, they forced the Philadelphia Eagles to go to a man-to-man middle safety high and get your shots. But that time, Tom Brady just unable to connect.
Kevin Falk now in the backfield on 3rd and 3. And they hand it to Falk. And Falk is brought down at the 10, no gain, 4th down. Corey Simon making the play for the Eagles.
Well, we've seen very conservative play now on both ends as these two coaches opt not to take chances inside their own 20-yard line. And for the New England Patriots, this is just the way that they play. Under Bill Belichick in championship games and Super Bowls, they've only had 3 giveaways as an offense, and they just simply are not going to beat themselves.
Miller will start from the middle of his end zone. Line drive punt. From the Eagles side of midfield, it's Westbrook getting it to the 45-yard line, a 9-yard return. And the great Harold Carmichael was the Eagles wide receiver from 71 to 83 and played in their last Super Bowl in January of 1981 under Dick Vermeil. A Jacksonville native on the sideline for Philadelphia as McNabb throws. Pinkston. And with Randall Gay covering, a lot of contact, no flag. 2nd and 10.
And that's something that Todd Pinkston actually does pretty well. You know, this is what he does best as a wide receiver, is going vertical and then going up for the ball. But he never really got up. He just mistimed his jump, and Randall Gay gets in between it. And actually fortunate that that ball wasn't intercepted.
How good have these two young corners gotten? Asante Samuel and Randall Gay going in for Tyrone Poole and Ty Law midway through the season. Rodney Harrison was telling us when that happened and our 2 stars got injured, I said, oh, we're in big trouble. But these 2 young kids have played fantastic football.
The job they've done in the playoffs against Marvin Harrison and Plexico Burris. McNabb gonna run, and it's Rodney Harrison upending Donovan McNabb, a loss of 1.
That time there, Joe, they had a screen actually called, and what you're going to see is the way that this New England Patriots defense identifies the screen play, and Dorsey Levens just got clocked. I mean, they laid him out. You're going to see he's looking for him there, and then boom, he gets hit by Roman Pfeiffer, and then Donovan McNabb has to go try to make something happen. But Chris, you touched on it just a little bit earlier about how good this New England defense is at identifying the screen.
3rd sack for the Patriots. Play clock down to 1. McNabb over the middle. Harrison on the stop. And losing the football is L.J. Smith. It's recovered by New England. Eugene Wilson comes away with it.
Boy, one thing you have to know as a receiver, once you're making initial contact and guys are no longer trying to tackle you, they're trying to hold you up. They're clearly here trying to hold up L.J. Smith. Now the ball's exposed. Randall Gay comes in and knocks the ball free. There comes a point in time in a play, especially pass plays, where you can't gain any more yards. Get on the ground. This is a major shift in field position right now in this ball game.
They'll start at their own 38. Gay was the one that knocked it out, but it was Rodney Harrison that was holding L.J. Smith up. Harrison has had a very good start to Super Bowl 39. Brady fires, and his receiver Gibbons had slipped.
You know, when you talk about the kind of game so far that Rodney Harrison is having, these Eagles knew coming into this game he's a very aggressive player. He likes to read the quarterback, and they really felt that they could take advantage of them because of his aggressiveness with some double moves. So far, Donovan really has been staring a lot of plays down, and Rodney Harrison, being the veteran player he is, has been able to make some jumps on the ball.
2nd down and 10. Dillon trying to bounce it outside. He gets the edge. He's hit by Michael Lewis coming up from the safety spot, a gain of 4.
And I really...
Brady going to go down. Sacked by Burgess. Derek Burgess, who has had a tough time staying healthy, has made a name for himself this postseason.
And Derek Burgess, last week for the first time, played on the offense's left side. He and Javon Curse switched positions. He played so well against Mike Vick and the Atlanta Falcons. They decided to leave him on that side, and already paying dividends here in this game.
Yeah, 2 sacks last week and now a sack in this game.
So another punt coming from Josh Miller. And a fair catch called for by Lito Shepard. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Joe, Tom Brady is playing with a heavy heart. May not be showing it outwardly, but he really had a tough time with the passing of his grandmother just a few days ago. Brady's father, Tom, is here in attendance, but the Patriot quarterback always speaks so highly and proudly of his close-knit family. He felt badly that he was the only member of the family who was not able to attend the vigil for his grandmother's passing due to his preparation for this game.
Grandmother Margaret, who passed away at the age of 94. To have a Super Bowl party at the nursing home where she lived. And so a big fan for Tom Brady. First down and 10 for Philadelphia with a ball at their own 19. Handoff is to Westbrook. Neither team has been able to establish any kind of a running game to this point. Second down and 8. Handoff, Westbrook, nowhere to go. He gets only 1 as Vrabel is there to make the stop for the Patriots.
And you're right, Joe. So far, I mean, the Eagles just have not been able to get anything going on the ground. Even though they're a team that doesn't run the ball a lot, they typically do a good job running the football when they do run it. Over 4 yards per carry in the season, in the regular season, which was good for 8th in the National Football League. But it's smart, in my opinion, that Andy Reid is still sticking with it. And you've got to remain balanced against this defensive team of New England. You can't get one-dimensional.
Troy Brown, an extra defensive back, in there for the Patriots on 3rd and 8. McNabb with time over the middle, fires, completes it to Pinkston. First down, Philadelphia.
And when the Philadelphia Eagles really want to shore up protection inside, this is what they do. They run it off of play action, which washes everything down. It's the best way that they can protect Donovan McNabb, and they certainly do a good job of it there.
It's one of the few times they haven't brought a blitz, and that gave Todd Pinkston enough time to run a deep crossing route. Generally against this Patriots team, which had 45 sacks on the season, you don't get that kind of time. Choosing not to blitz may have cost him there.
And a great throw by Donovan McNabb.
One of his few good throws in this first half is Westbrook gets the corner and then slides down, or was he hit along the sideline? No penalty flag comes in, a gain of 5 as Westbrook ended up on his back. The New England bench. Second down and 5, a blitz coming from the Patriots. McNabb steps up down the middle for Pinkston. What a catch! Pinkston is down inside the 20. They'll mark him at the 17.
Boy, this is Donovan McNabb at his very best. They come with the blitz, and he's going to move around and buy just enough time to get this thing off. This is what he can do that a Peyton Manning or someone like that can't do. Just buy that time and find the wide receiver in man coverage down the field.
And Todd Pinkston, who was unable to go up on the previous deep ball and make a play, does a great job there using his size to go up and make a play on the ball and bring that one in.
When you blitz, it means man coverage, and McNabb took advantage.
That was Jeffrey Lurie, his wife Christine. Jeffrey, the owner of the Eagles, as Westbrook bounces it outside. And Brian Westbrook is starting to get his legs underneath him as the Eagles are able to run the ball better. This possession, a gain of 10. And it is enough for a first down for Philadelphia. That's us. This is Super Bowl 39, and this has been a defensive struggle up to this point as the Eagles have had a couple of big plays on this drive, and they have a 1st and goal. Trying to score the first points of this game. Hand off to Westbrook, and he gets flattened out and then knocked down. No gain.
Boy, a great read that time by Teddy Bruschi coming through the middle. He's a guy that is unquestionably the leader of this defense. Just a dynamic personality, and we talked with him, and he really doesn't even look at the backs half the time. He's watching fullbacks, he's watching guards. He feels like they lead him to the football, and sometimes even when you think he's out of position, all of a sudden he comes in the back door with his speed and can make a play just like that one. Fantastic play.
He is smart. Penalty flag on the play on 2nd and goal, and that's out of the reach of L.J. Smith with Pfeiffer on him. We'll check the marker. It's against Philly.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 69 was on the end of the line. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
3rd and goal.
Yeah, and you look at this Eagles offense and what's happened here in the first half. They've had opportunities. Of course, they threw the interception when they were in a position to try to at least come away with a field goal. Now they're knocking on the door, and because of penalties, they've backed themselves up, and now 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line.
T.O. at the bottom of the screen. Blitz. Pump fake from McNabb over the middle. Touchdown. Smith.
Just really a good play here by Donovan McNabb. Initially, he's looking for Terrell Owens, and he's working against Asante Samuel. That could have been illegal contact, should have been actually. And then he gets back inside to the tight end. L.J. Smith just fighting through a double team.
Boy, that was just a fantastic effort by L.J. Smith. I mean, he absolutely got hit by 3 different guys trying to find an opening, and somehow McNabb stayed with him.
So the Eagles strike first. It's 7-0. If you look at the scoring drive, Chad Lewis was injured, put on IR. Liz Frank sprain in his left foot. That happened in the NFC Championship game on his 2nd touchdown. And the classy Chad Lewis cheering on his teammate L.J. Smith, who got into the end zone. A penalty flag comes down on this return by Bethel Johnson. An 18-yard return, and we'll check the marker.
During return, holding, receiving team, number 51. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Offensive line for the Eagles has been good enough. Certainly on that touchdown throw, gave Donovan McNabb a lot of time to find L.J. Smith. Bill Belichick and Rodney Harrison trying to figure out what's going on. And Andy Reid and Terrell Owens, all the news about them during the past couple of weeks. With the decision to play, he's looked good so far. As they drop it off, the Patriots do, to Corey Dillon. And Dillon has a New England 1st down. He picked up 13. Sheldon Brown on the tackle. That is only the 2nd New England 1st down of this game.
Yeah, so far, in my mind, this has been a pretty good whooping by the Philadelphia Eagles, and especially the great play of their defense. Remember, the Patriots last week put 41 on the board against the #1 defense in football, and so far, Philadelphia has just dominated this game.
First down, New England. Another Philadelphia blitz. Perfect call against it as they screen it to Dillon. And Corey Dillon has a 1st down out across the 40. He got 15.
And right now, New England's starting to sense that Philadelphia's getting pressure. Hollis Thomas, he just shoots the gap right there. Immediately gets in Tom Brady's face, but he's able to get the ball out to Corey Dillon. And pick up a big gain.
Boy, Joe Andruzzi had a fantastic block that time. They were in man coverage, and Dillon came out. There was only one blocker that was possible for Dillon out there, and he knocked his guy to the ground.
First down, New England. Falk out to midfield.
You know, to me, as you analyze this game, Troy, I thought the biggest difference in these two teams, maybe the only difference, was the fact that New England could run the football so much more effectively than could the Philadelphia Eagles. And maybe now they're beginning to establish that.
Well, I think right now, you know, the thing Philadelphia defensively wanted to stop was the outside stretch play, but we're starting to see New England have some success running the ball inside.
2nd and 2. They hand to Falk. Falk's got a first down. And he's inside the 45-yard line, picked up 5. Trotter on the tackle.
And I think when you look at Kevin Falk and his contributions to this team, he was their leading rusher a year ago. And then obviously when they go and they make a trade and they bring in Corey Dillon, then he has to take a back seat. But there's not a more unselfish player on this team than Kevin Falk, and he's become more of a third down back. And then he's obviously used also as a changeup to Corey Dillon as he is here.
That's Falk in motion on first down. Quick throw. Pass is complete to Gibbons. And he's got a first down inside the 35 to the 31. The ball came out, and they're letting this play continue. Sheldon Brown on the return, and this ball belongs for the moment to the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the officials are going to get together as nobody has made the signal. You've got members of the offense of the Eagles going on the field, and the offense for the Patriots are staying out there as we get another look at Gibbons.
Play was ruled a fumble, recovered by Philadelphia. First down.
His knee was clearly down.
Well, it was if the ball wasn't moving. Now let's see if we can get the other angle.
Challenge, red flag out onto the field as we look at Gibbons. Again, there's a little movement with the football there. Gibbons' knee is clearly down before the ball is eventually wrestled out by Sheldon Brown. As Terry McCauley will give it a look under the hood, and we'll see if that bobble and potentially a loss of control could end up giving the ball to Philadelphia. It's either a 1st and 10 for Philadelphia at their own 36 or a first down for New England at the Philadelphia 32.
After review, the runner's knee was down prior to losing control of the football. It will be New England's ball, 1st and 10 on the 32-yard line. New England is not charged with a timeout.
And at least by not ruling him down initially, it allows then the officials to go in and clean it up, which they are instructed to let the play go, which is what they did. The only downside to that is then Bill Belichick and the Patriots have to lose a challenge in order to get it right.
But instant replay has been huge thus far in this ball game.
So we have seen Donovan McNabb play, which initially was ruled a fumble, reversed as McNabb's knee was down, and the same there with Gibbons, his knee going down before Brown ripped it out. First down, New England. Dillon inside the 30, still going. Dillon down inside the 10. Down at the 7. 25-yard run by Corey Dillon.
I don't know what more Jim Johnson can do as defensive coordinator. You're going to see Michael Lewis here drop down, and he's going to be right in position along with everybody else to make a play. They got an 8-man front, but Corey Dillon just bounces it out, and then, Chris, there's nobody on the backside for the cutback.
That's exactly right. Derek Burgess got cut off on the backside and created a huge void on the play. He's supposed to be trailing there.
Patriots trying to answer the Philadelphia touchdown. Quick throw. A good open field tackle made by Rod Hood as Deion Branch is wrestled down, a gain of only 2.
And this is the area of the field where the Eagles defensively have been very good all season long. And I know that the New England Patriots, we saw it in the championship game, they like to get the ball into their receivers' hands quickly, allow a one-on-one matchup, make a guy miss, get into the end zone. But the Philadelphia Eagles, as we just saw with Roderick Hood, are pretty good tacklers.
2nd and goal. Brady loses it on the play action. And now the pile.
They're not so sure that Tom Brady got on it.
It looked like at the very end Brady lost it again.
I don't know how they're going to tell now. Darwin Walker came out of the pile with the ball.
And they're still down there looking for it. Walker's got it.
Darwin says, hey, I got it.
Unbelievable.
And when you're at the bottom of the pile, it's not necessarily who initially has possession. It's who ultimately comes out of the pile with the ball.
And for now, they have ruled the ball belongs to the Philadelphia Eagles as Brady lost it twice. First on the play action, then here it looked like he had it, and it started to squirt away.
Yeah, I don't think he ever had a good job by Javon Curse getting on top of him. But just a very simple maneuver blown by the Patriots there with Kevin Falk knocking the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. That play action is something they've done 1,000 times together.
So the turnover gives it to Philadelphia. From their own 13-yard line, Westbrook. Bruschi made him cut it back inside, and Brian Westbrook lost one. Willie McGinnis on the tackle.
You know, Hank Fraley on that particular play is pulling out, and he's a very active center, and that's one of his strengths. I mean, he's not the most gifted athlete, obviously, as an offensive lineman, but a tenacious player that goes until the whistle, and had a great game in the NFC Championship game, and probably the most underrated offensive lineman on this Philadelphia team.
But against this 3-4 defense, typically there's somebody on his nose, and that's a little different look for him.
The Eagles have turned it over twice in this game. The Patriots have turned it over once, their first turnover of this postseason, as the pass is incomplete. Westbrook, the intended receiver. 3rd down and 11 coming up.
And I think you got to go back to the job that this Eagles defense has done. You know, you start out the game and the Eagles offensively struggle. They turn the ball over, but yet each time along the way, the Eagles defensively stepped up and have made plays. New England Patriots start a drive on that last possession, and they create the turnover. Just a magnificent job here in this first half by the Eagles defensively.
But this Patriots defense has made a lot of plays, and it looks like they're coming with pressure on this one.
On 3rd down and 11, McNabb buys time and fires, and the pass from Mitchell.
Boy, he had him. That would have been a 1st down too. Freddie Mitchell made a nice move on the outside on the scramble, and Donovan just threw it in the dirt.
And Chris, you got to wonder, because I know from my own experience having played in Super Bowls, and the same thing's happening here. They rotate in a brand new football every single snap, and those things are slick. And we have seen balls get away from Donovan McNabb already, and we've certainly seen that from Tom Brady.
Bethel Johnson is waiting deep, and it's an ugly punt. So the up man, Troy Brown, gets it. 4 minutes, 25 seconds off the game clock from now. From the Philadelphia 37. The Patriots down by 7. Start with play action. Daniel Graham, his first catch, makes a move. Gets it just inside the 31. I'm sure.
Yeah. Anytime you can hear Terry Bradshaw, it's a thrill of a lifetime.
Yeah.
2nd down and 3. Terry did a little better on the words this time. Brady pulls it back and fires incomplete. Corey Dillon, the closest to it for New England.
Little man underneath coverage that time for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's a bit of risk-taking down the field. You know, that it opens up the field. There's some room to run for Tom Brady, and yet you're seeing Jim Johnson open up the book a little bit now defensively. I think he's really gaining confidence that his guys can get it done.
And so far, this is where the Eagles defensively have been very good. So far, New England has not converted a 3rd down.
3rd down and 3. Brady throws wide open, and with a 1st down is Deion Branch. Forced out by Sheldon Brown, and they have talked about how calm Tom Brady is on the playing field since Well, really, since he took over for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, and I think when you start listing his strengths, obviously he's got arm strength and he can do various things at this level like other quarterbacks can. But I think his greatest asset is his demeanor. You never see him flustered, regardless of what the situation is in a game, and that's what the players respect about him.
So that was the first third down conversion for the Patriots as Deion Branch gets it again, and not only will the footballs be slick, but obviously the grass is as well as Deion, as his legs go out from under him, a gain of 4.
And Deion Branch is a young man that Tom Brady trusts most. Anytime they start bringing the blitz, that time they go empty formation. They play off Deion Branch. Tom Brady feels like Deion is his most trusted guy. And so when they start getting those hot read situations, look for number 83 to get the football.
2nd and 6. Brady over the middle. The pass caught. Troy Brown. And Brown picks up 12 and a New England first down.
Yeah, and Troy Brown, a guy who's not been used much as a wide receiver this year, but look at him in the slot. He gets inside technique on Sheldon Brown, and you got to take that away if you're Sheldon Brown.
And Tom Brady, just time after time with pressure coming in his face, you never see his throwing motion change. When you watch the tape on Tom Brady, it is just always the same, even if somebody's hitting him right in the face.
2 minutes left in this first half. Patriots down by 7, knocking on the door. Have a 1st and goal when we come back. This is a crowd here in this stadium that is excited. A lot of Eagles fans are down here. I think they would outnumber the Patriots fans in the seats, and this place is alive. On 1st and goal, handoff is to Dillon. And Dillon gets it down inside the 5 to the 4.
There's the stretch play again, and that's really what this Patriots offense does best. I was wondering whether or not the Patriots, after turning it over, trying to go play action, would come back and just try and pound the football. It's like Daniel Graham going off and with an injury, and that's a little bit significant down here on the goal line when you want the extra tight ends in the game. Like Corey Dillon may have just landed on the back of his legs at the end of that run.
Yeah, because one of the things that the New England Patriots like to do down here is they like the play action pass to Daniel Graham and to Christian Fourier, and that's something they like to do.
2nd and goal. Brady fires, and it is caught. Givens, touchdown. Fifth straight postseason game for David Givens with a touchdown catch. 2nd longest streak all time. John Stallworth caught one in 8 straight. 7-7.
I don't think Lito Shepherd could believe that Tom Brady threw that ball all the way across his face to the outside. Brady, a great manipulator with his eyes. He knows how to work a defense. Look, he's looking left, he's looking down the field. He looks at the slot receiver, and last second goes all the way wide for the touchdown.
Yeah, but take a look at Lito Shepherd right there. He's waiting, and he had nowhere to really else go. I mean, David Givens over there on the sidelines was clearly his man, and just because he anticipated that Tom Brady could not make that throw, he's unable to make a play on the ball. But that should never have happened. Lito Shepherd should have been over there on David Givens.
You know what's funny about defensive backs, though, is sometimes they just lean. You know, all they have to do is be leaning on the wrong foot, and all of a sudden they can't make the break on the ball. Would you have ever anticipated that Brady was going to try and hit that one all the way on the outside? Typically, the outside receiver is just a bit of a decoy, but Brady made it work with his eyes that time.
So Tom Brady talking with Charlie Weiss, who is the departing offensive coordinator, about to take over at Notre Dame as their head coach. The unflappable Tom Brady gets the team down the field into the end zone to tie it at 7. With 1:10 remaining in this first half, the Eagles about to get it back. can fly. Good return by Reed. Penalty flag on the return as Reed crossed the 40, got it out to the 41. 38-yard return, but a flag is down, and so is one of the New England Patriots.
During return, holding, receiving team, number 85. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Eugene Wilson is down and injured.
Based on the fact that Eugene Wilson is headed straight for the locker room, you probably think some kind of a, I won't speculate on the injury, but usually not a shoulder or something like that in that situation. Looks like they're going in for x-rays, maybe his arm, forearm, something like that.
So we'll get the word on Eugene Wilson with 1:04 remaining. You saw Ty Law. He was lost on Halloween on IRs. Tyrone Poole on IR, the two starting corners. And they have had to use just about everybody, mixing and matching in the secondary all year. Patriots come on a blitz, and Westbrook has nowhere to go. Swallowed up by McGinnis. You name it. Jarvis Green, Vrabel, they were all there.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised right now that the Patriots aren't trying to call timeout and maybe get one last shot at trying to come away with some points here before the end of this first half. But clearly Andy Reid, by running the ball there, is just going to be very content going in with a 7-7 tie ball game.
Well, just as you say it, New England spends their first time out. McNabb hits Pinkston. Pinkston goes down immediately, picked up 10, short of a first down. Asante Samuel on the tackle. And right now the clock continues to run.
Surprises me that Philadelphia is going to a no huddle. That's something you always got to weigh when you go to throw the ball. Do you try to pick up the first down and risk an incompletion and stopping the clock? Philadelphia got the completion, though.
And here's another completion to Pinkston. That's a first down out across the 40, and now Philadelphia will think about using one of their 3 timeouts.
Well, if Asante Samuel is going to play 12 yards off of Todd Pinkston, they're just going to take this. I mean, this is pitch and catch in the backyard. It's just not difficult. And of course, Samuel not wanting to give up a big play. And I think once they saw that on the first down, why not come right back to it?
Philadelphia, Troy, uses their first timeout, so the clock is stopped with 10 seconds remaining. And how about 10 seconds left? And McNabb trying to buy time over the middle. The pass incomplete. Mitchell couldn't hang on. And now 4 seconds remain.
Let's take a look at Terrell Owens and see just how that leg is holding up. He was a factor early in the ball game. He's at the top of your screen. One of the things that is tough when you have some kind of a leg injury is trying to get off the jam. But Troy, while he limps back to the huddle every once in a while, I haven't seen anything that looks like the leg is any major factor for him so far.
Yeah, and
Troy circles Terrell Owens. The Eagles hand it off. Ryan Westbrook. And with that, the first half of Super Bowl 39 will come to a close. So that's the end of the first half. The score 7-7. By the way, that other battle within the battle, Rodney Harrison, 5 tackles, a sack, an interception in that first half. Freddie Mitchell shut out, no catches. What are you cackling about, Aikman? On a bounce from inside the 15, it's Patrick Pass. And the fullback crosses the 30. They're going to mark him just outside the 31, a 17-yard return. And we'll look at the first half statistics. And there are some of the numbers Pam touched on. Only the 37 rushing yards for the Eagles, the 2 turnovers. And as you circle that, it got a little better for the Patriots at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and that's the point. Not so much by the yards that they accumulated there in the first half, but they had a good yard per carry average. So I wouldn't get away from that if I'm New England here in this third quarter.
Blitz coming from the Eagles. Trotter was picked up and the pass caught. That's Branch, and he had to adjust as the pass was behind him, a gain of 8.
And really, Tom Brady feels like that offensively they can pick up any blitz that the Eagles throw at him as long as there is a free safety in the middle of the field. one of the things that he's done in this ball game is gone to a secondary snap count. They'll come out and go 34 set, hut, and then start all over again. 34 set, hut. And by doing that, he's forcing the Eagles to show their blitz and then be able to figure out whether or not he can do something with it.
Dillon gets it on the toss, and that's Trotter. Loss of 4.
Well, and that's how you stop the outside running game for the New England Patriots. Jeremiah Trotter does a great job of play recognition, the middle linebacker, and he's a downhill player. I mean, he doesn't run lateral to the line of scrimmage, parallel that is. He comes downhill, he shoots the gaps, and makes a great play there when they needed one.
Trotter with 4 tackles so far in this game, brings up 3rd down and 6. Blitz again from the Eagles. Brady steps up and fires wide open, and with the catch is Branch inside the 40. Marked down at the 38, a completion good for 27.
That time Brian Dawkins, he shows the blitz early, and so he gives this offensive line a chance to recognize it and pick it up and give Tom Brady time to get the ball down the field.
But that's exactly what we were talking about just a second ago. Brady realizes that they can pick up any blitz they're throwing at him as long as there's a safety in the middle of the field. He stood there confidently, knowing that he had time to throw the football, and took advantage.
And the other side of that, right now, nobody has been able to match up one-on-one with Deion Branch.
11 of his last 12, a red-hot Tom Brady backpedaling as he throws it, and he hits Branch in the back as he let that one fly, and Branch wasn't looking for it at all.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it. You're exactly right, Joe. I don't know if Brady felt that he needed to get the ball out, but Branch certainly wasn't expecting it to come to him to the inside. You saw Branch there pointing to the outside receiver. That's where he thought Tom Brady was going to go with it.
I just wonder if Brady saw some sort of a hot read and Branch just simply didn't see it, just miscommunication there.
2nd down and 10. Brady stands in, fires, and the pass incomplete. Great coverage by Ware on Patton. There's another defensive back, Matt Ware, and he was blanketing David Patton.
Well, let's start up front here. Javon Curse, we haven't heard much from him all day, and it's because Matt Light has just had a fantastic game on him.
I'll tell you what, on the back end of it, Patton actually might have had an opportunity here. You see, the corner reaches for him, but then Patton's still able to get around him and get into the void, but because the throw is a little bit behind, they're unable to connect.
3rd down and 10. Brady over the middle, fires and hits Branch, who's had a terrific game. Deion Branch good for 16 more.
You know, Deion Branch is so good. He missed so many games this year, and it kept him from having the impact on this team that he normally would have. But watch him as he recognizes zone and then sits down in the hole and gives Tom Brady a big target to deliver the football. That's what you want from your wide receiver, sitting in the zone between 2 defenders. Good job by Deion Branch.
And once again, Tom Brady looked off Ike Reese in the middle of the field and created that opening.
That matchup with Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator for Philly. Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator for New England. That's Rayburn, who got his hands on the legs of Dillon, no gain.
Well, the biggest difference really with this Philadelphia team is from the time that Jeremiah Trotter came in the lineup about halfway through the football season, this team started playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. They're getting penetration now. They're shooting the gaps. They're playing in the backfield. And that's the reason they really haven't lost a game that they've tried to win since he's come in.
Opening possession, 2nd half. 8th play of the drive. Blitz, Trotter comes again. Brady throws. Pass is caught. And they will mark Branch out at the 2.
Well, right now, Philadelphia, they bring the safety blitz. They bring him late, though. There's no way he's going to be able to get here in time. Actually, it's this guy here coming up the middle, but he starts from so far back, there's just no way you can get to the quarterback, and then you got one-on-one across the board on the outside. And again, Deion Branch, he's going against Ware, and they just have not been able to find an answer to slow Deion Branch down.
Mike Vrabel on the end of the line, the left side. Brady play action, fires, Vrabel catches it. No signal of touchdown as there are penalty flags down. They have not signaled touchdown. Vrabel, who had one in last year's Super Bowl, able to juggle it, hang on as he's going to the ground, but there are flags down.
Well, Mike Vrabel made a wide receiver release off the ball. It was fantastic.
Holding defense, number 93. The penalties decline. Touchdown.
They get Curse on a hold, and Vrabel has his second Super Bowl touchdown.
Watch the release off the ball. The quick move outside. He's working against Javon Curse, who they say, all right, you're going to play a linebacker. We'll play our defensive end on you. Makes a great release. Gets open again. What a job Vrabel has done in these two Super Bowls. Don't forget he had 2 sacks in that game last year as well.
Vinatieri to make it a 7-point game. It's 14-7. It's no longer in the category of a surprise when Tom Brady tries to find Mike Vrabel in the end zone. His 5th career catch, 5 touchdowns. He had one in last year's Super Bowl, now one here to make it 14-7. And with 11:04 remaining in the third quarter, New England now is up 14-7, and the Eagles trail for the first time this postseason. Reed on the return. And J.R. Reed hurdles his way out. So now the Eagles get it for the first time in the second half, trailing for the first time, and it's Owens, who was busy in the first quarter, and Terrell Owens has enough for an Eagles first down.
You know, one of the things that New England wanted to try to do is to disrupt the timing of this 3-step passing game by the Philadelphia Eagles. But when you've got Terrell Owens out there, and Randall Gay comes up and wants to put a jam on him, but that's what Terrell Owens gives you. He's such a big, physical, strong guy that he can run through those jams, and then the challenge is getting him to the ground after he makes the catch.
First down, Philadelphia. Westbrook ran into a wall, picked up 1.
Well, the running game just doesn't appear to be the answer today against the New England Patriots, and really it hasn't been for at least the second half of the season, because Patriots, especially their defensive line, has just been so good. But when you look in the secondary right now for the Patriots, they have 2 rookies back there because of the injury to Eugene Wilson. Dexter Reed, Randall Gay, both rookies. Asante Samuel, just a second-year player. So it looks like now if this game's going to be won, it's going to be won by Donovan McNabb throwing the ball.
Westbrook is split out to the bottom of your screen on 2nd down and 9. Blitz coming from the Patriots. McNabb brought down. Donovan McNabb is sacked. Seymour, McGinnis, Bruschi. A ton of pressure on Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, pick a guy. I mean, there was so much pressure coming off the edges and then up the middle that Donovan takes a short drop. Seymour beats his man. He gets up inside and then meet everyone else at the quarterback.
And the difference was Asante Samuel on the outside did not go for the double move. They tried to go a hitch and go. McNabb did the pump fake, but Samuel was right there. He played it perfectly. McNabb had no choice but to take the sack.
Patriots fans making noise on 3rd down and 15. McNabb, Pinkston, incomplete. And a punt coming from the Eagles. Randall Gay was back deep with Todd Pinkston.
Well, these young corners just continue to impress me. It's amazing when you think about kids playing in a Super Bowl in their first year and one-on-one coverage. They're not given help. That time you saw Dexter Reed getting over there late, but Asante Samuel and Randall Gay, 2 young players on back-to-back plays, really making a difference.
And isn't that really part of the brilliance of Bill Belichick, finding guys, plugging guys in, getting the most out of them? Penalty flag on this return by Troy Brown. What a move. J.R. Reed chasing him down. He can't bring him down, and Brown is inside the 40, but a flag is down. And this looks like it's coming back. A return of 45 yards, but there was a penalty early on that return.
Holding. Receiving team, number 42. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick.
Starting from their own 8. Handoff is to Dillon. Dillon out to the 14-yard line, got 6. Blitz coming from Lewis. Brady is hit and the ball up for grabs, incomplete. Michael Lewis coming on the blitz.
Boy, are they lucky. Tom Brady saw that blitz coming all the way. You saw him signal to his wide receivers out to the left side, but Michael Lewis just got there so fast, there was nothing Tom Brady could do. He sat back there and tried to get it out. Just lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
This is a big play right here for this Eagles defense because of the penalty on the kickoff return, pinned them back. If they're able to hold them here, they'll get good field position for their offense.
3rd down and 4. Brady looked right, throws left, and the pass incomplete. David Patton, the intended receiver, and Bill Belichick ends up with a football. But isn't that Brady, guys? He looks one way, he looks to his right, and then at the last moment comes back and throws to the other side of the field.
Yeah, that's really what he does, and he just trusts that by him looking a safety off or pumping a safety and getting him to move, that's going to then create the separation to get the one-on-one matchups, and typically it does. But what a great job there by the Eagles defense after a big run there on 1st down by Corey Dillon, getting pressure on Tom Brady and then forcing a punt.
And they're really not giving Corey Dillon much of a chance to establish anything.
Waiting for the punt, Shepard and Westbrook, and this ball will end up out of bounds off the arms of Westbrook. A penalty flag is down on the field on that punt by Josh Miller. And this should cost Philadelphia some yards.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 24, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
McNabb fires and wide open is Owens.
Pass complete to number 81.
They try to run it with Westbrook, who gets to the edge. Brian Westbrook with a 1st down for the Eagles to the 45 of New England.
Well, the one thing that Brian Westbrook felt was that, hey, these guys on defense are bigger than we are, but we are faster than the New England Patriots on the defensive side. And as you watch tape over the course of a season on the Patriots, they very seldom are able to get outside of these 2 outstanding outside linebackers. But the Eagles last year in the game against these guys did it. And so far, Westbrook now is starting to have some success here, too.
Terrell Owens at the top of your screen. McNabb with time, fires the pass, caught. Ray Lewis, who, by the way, Bill Belichick said presented more problems for New England than Freddie Mitchell presented.
Yeah, and we look at Terrell Owens here at the top, and they're giving him some cushion. I mean, they can throw this every single down if they'd like. That's the respect that he's getting. Now you got Greg Lewis, and as you mentioned, Joe, because of his speed, he's getting the same kind of respect on the other side there against Randall Gay.
McNabb throws. Owens had slipped and still, bad leg and all, is able to get back up and make the catch. Gain of 6.
You know, I don't care who you are as a young defensive back. When you're out there looking at Terrell Owens, you're not thinking about him having a bad ankle. You're seeing all the highlights that he's had during the course of his career.
And I think the reason he slipped there is because he had to plant off the bad ankle. That's his right ankle, whereas on the other plays, we saw him running out routes, pushing off of his left ankle, and that's the concern with Terrell Owens right now.
Owens comes out of the lineup as the Eagles are getting it rolling. They hand to Westbrook, and Brian has a Philadelphia 1st down. Bruschi on the tackle.
And you just can't emphasize enough how important it is for the Philadelphia Eagles to begin to establish something, whether it be through the air to Brian Westbrook or handing the football to him with the running game. Once that gets established, those linebackers in the interior no longer can help those outside corners, and they're used to getting a lot of help this season.
Well, we saw New England answer when Philadelphia took the lead on them, and now we're starting to see Philadelphia answer once New England got up on them.
McNabb, that ball is tipped and incomplete. Looking in the direction of Terrell Owens. New England showing blitz. They come. Quick throw. Pass complete. That's Lewis again. And Greg Lewis gets 7. 3rd and 3 coming up.
You know, I tell you, it's a whole different game right now with Terrell Owens on the outside, and then when you put Greg Lewis on the other side of him, you can see these corners, they're not playing with the same type of confidence that they were earlier in the ball game. They're not coming up and jamming these receivers, which is something that everyone outside of Terrell Owens has struggled with over the course of this season. They're playing soft, and right now McNabb has his pick on the outside throws.
Westbrook at the bottom of your screen, out of the shotgun. McNabb fires behind Westbrook. What a catch and a huge first down. What a grab by Westbrook, who reached behind him to get it.
Really a great catch by Brian Westbrook. He's going to be running across the field, as you're going to see, but after we see him make the play, watch where Freddie Mitchell was coming the other side. Nobody goes with Freddie Mitchell, and if Donovan McNabb had a chance to see him, Freddie Mitchell's probably walking into the end zone.
But what a great job by Westbrook using the umpire as a pick there to just create enough separation to pick up that first down.
1st and goal. Blitz. McNabb throws. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Westbrook. Akers to tie it. Tied at 14. And the Eagles had 6 first downs on that drive to tie it at 14. Impressive throw by Donovan McNabb. Terrell Owens has certainly been much, much more than just a decoy. Bethel Johnson, he can run. One of the fastest guys in the NFL, and that kick is covered. Bethel Johnson gets it out very near the 34, a return of 27 yards.
Mike Vrabel's going to fake a blitz right here and then try and drop back underneath the route. But by taking that one step up to fake the blitz, he just simply didn't get there.
And then look at the route by Westbrook. By him keeping it vertical, he keeps separation away from Vrabel so the ball's able to get in there. And then, of course, Donovan McNabb falling backwards for him to have the arm strength to fit that ball in there. Unbelievable throw by Donovan McNabb.
And don't forget, too, that that was Dexter Reed, who's in the game for the injured Eugene Wilson, who gave up that play.
5 wide receivers in the game for New England. And that'll cost New England 5 yards as Troy Brown flinched.
Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, first down.
7 Patriot penalties. The guy who was guilty of the last one, Brown, gets it. Troy Brown gets 4, and let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Joe, Todd Pinkston wasn't on the field for that Eagles touchdown. He was on the trainer's table as they tried to help him with a case of the cramps. Pinkston has now gone to the locker room for an IV. His return is questionable. Back to you.
All right, Pam, thanks. And there's Todd leaving. Todd, who had a very good first half. Guy who's had the big second half receiving for New England is Deion Branch. Up to 109 yards on the day. They're racking up 143 last year against Carolina. This is Falk. And Kevin Falk picks his way for a New England first down. Hollis Thomas downfield to make the tackle.
You know, in that time, Philadelphia defensively expecting the ball to be thrown down the field, and Jeremiah Trotter, the linebacker, he's the one guy who had an opportunity to make a play. The middle linebacker, he sees it, and he comes up and tries to make the play and tries to go around the blocks rather than take them on, and Kevin Falk's able to get inside of that.
First down, Patriots. Dillon. to midfield. Got 3.
They're trying to disguise coverages in the back. Michael Lewis, that time lining up in a 2-deep safety formation, and he's trying to run down and catch the run from that far back. And anytime you see that as an offensive coach, you have to begin to think, run the football with Corey Dillon. Remember, Dillon is a guy that was just 62 yards away from the rushing title this season and really hasn't gotten it going thus far.
2nd down and 7.
You see the 2 deep safeties back again.
They fake the reverse. Brady completes it to Branch. And Deion Branch is out of bounds 2 yards shy of a 1st down.
Deion Branch last week had a couple of huge plays against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the championship game. This time they come with the fake reverse to him and swing it out to him in the flat for a nice completion.
Does a good job by Tom Brady. He was wanting to take a shot down the field on the deep post, but well covered by both Brian Dawkins and Michael Lewis, which forced him to have to come back to Branch on the swing.
And a timeout called by Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. There will be a 30-second timeout.
Blitz coming from the Eagles. It's Dillon trying to pick it up, and Corey Dillon has a 1st down for New England.
There's Corey Dillon getting to the outside again. That's what Jim Johnson did not want to see, but Patrick Pass, the fullback. Watch him get this corner. This is a very difficult block for a fullback. He gets to the outside, maybe even grabs and holds just a little bit, but just enough for Corey Dillon to pick up that big 1st down.
Patrick Pass, the fullback, leading Corey Dillon to a franchise record 1,635 yards during the regular season. This is Falk trying out the right side, and Falk brought down by Burgess. A little help from Brian Dawkins, a gain of 8.
And Daniel Graham that time got just enough of the blitzing linebacker or safety that was coming through there. I mean, he literally just got a couple of fingers on him, but it was just enough to open up the outside. Number 82, you see blocking the tight end position. He's going to realize that Dhani Jones was coming through the middle, and that allowed this one to bounce out.
Super Bowl 39 will be the first Super Bowl tied after 3 quarters of play. 2nd down and 2 for the Patriots. Falk, 1st down and more. Marked down at the 16-yard line.
Right now, Philadelphia just doesn't really have an answer for what New England's doing within their running game. They brought the safety up to create the 8-man front defensively on the outside, and then all of a sudden New England hits it up inside where the tackles are, and those 2 tackles have got to be able to hold their ground and play better against that interior run.
You could hear the Eagles yelling out, watch the screen. The Patriots do screen it to Falk, and Falk is going to be marked out of bounds short of the end zone and just shy of the 2. You can hear the Eagles call that out prior to the play, Chris.
Yeah, they knew exactly what was happening here. But over here you have all the receivers on this side motion back here, and then they're going to screen the other way. Brady's going to look left, and then just drop it back off. And you can see there's nobody on that side of the field because all the defensive backs were on the other side covering the wide receivers.
Mark Semino, the only linebacker out there to make a play, absorbed the block rather than going after the back.
Vrabel is in. Hochstein is blocking for Dillon. Corey Dillon, touchdown New England. And the Patriots are back on top.
And for Corey Dillon, a guy who once said he would rather flip hamburgers than play in Cincinnati. He was considered a malcontent. He was called a cancer on his own football team in Cincinnati, but he was just miserable with all the losing. Is now in with the go-ahead touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Extra offensive lineman Russ Hochstein is there blocking and got just enough of Dawkins to get Dillon into the end zone. Reed from the 6. Stumbled a bit, crossed the 20, and that's all. McNabb with all day finally fires and throws low to Dorsey Levens out of the backfield.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier on the previous drive by the Eagles and how New England was playing soft on Terrell Owens and Greg Lewis. This time they give him help. They roll a safety over the top, which allows Asante Samuel to jump the route, and that's where Donovan wanted to go with the football. Of course, he had to get off of it, and right now what we're starting to see at least is New England wanting to play a little bit more coverage because they've done a pretty good job shutting down this running game.
And I agree with that strategy.
2nd down and 10. They handle Westbrook, and what a play. Roosevelt Colvin.
And how about Roosevelt Colvin? A young man who got a big free agent contract a season ago, came in here with high expectations, injured his hip, had to go through a long rehabilitation process, was salivating over the opportunity to come back and play in this game, and he has come full circle now, getting the opportunity and taking advantage.
Yeah, that hip injury that he came back from for a lot of players, that's a career-ending injury.
Loss of 6 on that play by Colvin. 3rd down and 16. Blitz. McNabb's going to air it out. Downfield and incomplete. And it's Randall Gay, the rookie, covering Greg Lewis.
A pretty good idea there by Philadelphia, at least taking a shot down the field. The only problem is Donovan's got to keep the ball on the playing surface. It's no good if you throw it out of bounds, and he just didn't give Lewis a chance to try to make a play for him.
Well, I know Tom Brady's good, but when you go back and you look at what's happened for the first 3+ quarters of this game, to me the storyline has been the play of these two young cornerbacks, Randall Gay and Asante Samuel. Yes, they've given up a few plays here and there, but they've played a lot of single coverage and gotten the job done.
Dirk Johnson hangs a good one. Just inside the 40, it's Bethel Johnson on the return, and he crosses midfield, gets it into Philadelphia territory. Big part of that success with extra time is defensive coordinator Jim Johnson. Well, his defense is in a spot here where they are being asked to hold. Is right now a very hot New England team. They come on a blitz, and Corey Dillon is wrapped up in the backfield and thrown down by Darwin Walker.
You take a look at how it all started, though. Jeremiah Trotter, they like to just have him blow up the center. He's middle linebacker, and he likes to come in, take on the center, the guard, whatever's there, just blow it up and get some penetration there in the backfield, and then get a little help from your friends. And good play by Jeremiah Trotter.
Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Play action, Brady down the middle. What a catch by Branch. Deion Branch took it away from Sheldon Brown, and that was good for 19.
Boy, I tell you, for Sheldon Brown, you just simply can't cover anybody better than that. He runs right underneath the route. He knows he has help over the top, and simply has the ball taken away from him. He's right there in perfect coverage, and for Tom Brady, how does he fit that ball in there, Troy?
I tell you what, Chris, I've always believed that a great throw beats great coverage.
Man.
That's a great example of it right there. You're right. As good a coverage as that was by Sheldon Brown, the only place that Tom Brady could put it,
an eligible receiver.
At the very end of the play, the referee, Terry McCauley, threw a flag for roughing the passer. And so at the tail end of that reception, by the way, tying the Super Bowl record with his 11th is Deion Branch. They got Simon on roughing the passer. It brings the ball down to the 16. Dillon, plenty of room to run, and Dillon is down to the 9. Nice pickup of 7 yards on 1st down for Corey Dillon. Dillon again. Bouncing it to the outside. Corey Dillon with a 1st down inside the 5, out of bounds at the 4.
Right now, the Eagles are just getting outflanked over there on their defensive left side. Huckstein out there on the outside, and they're just caving down that side, and Corey Dillon knows it. He starts inside and bounces it back to the outside. But that kind of speed to go along with the power that he's displayed. Nice block by Christian Fourier as well.
I think right now, whatever New England's doing, whether it's trying to run between the tackles or bounce it outside, Philadelphia just has been one play off and doesn't know exactly where they're trying to hit the holes.
Coach Stein at fullback, Vrabel at tight end, Kevin Faulk with the football, and he gets nothing. It's actually Patrick Pass, the fullback, and Pass just got it back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal. Dillon gets a chance to catch his breath over on the sideline.
Well, I can tell you this is a huge series right here when they get down in here inside the 5-yard line. A huge difference between going up 10 points as opposed to going up 14.
We have seen a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles.
2nd down from the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal for the Patriots. There's the day for Deion Branch. Brady throws in the pass. Incomplete. Gibbons, the intended receiver.
We talked a little bit about what Tom Brady does and the command that he has at the line of scrimmage. Watch how he gets underneath center, and he goes into his cadence, sees the blitz start to come up to the line. He stops, pulls out, and then he'll point out the middle linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter. He sets protection there to get it all blocked up inside. Unfortunately, no one got open to get the ball in their hands, but a good job of getting it blocked up so that he had protection.
Be careful here. No turnovers. A field goal is just as good.
3rd down and goal. It's Dillon going nowhere.
I think that's a good play call that time by Charlie Weiss. You look at the score, you look at the way your defense has been playing. Take the 3 points here. Give your team a 10-point lead. Rely on your defense.
Michael Lewis came up to make that last stop to bring up 4th down.
Sorry, Joe, but there's no question it changes the mindset then for Philadelphia only being down 10 as opposed to 14, knowing that the first thing they've got to do is just get down the field, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, and they're right back in the ball game, not having to go down and score twice.
This is Patriot football. This is the way they generally do it.
The first field goal attempt of the game.
How about the day that young man is having?
I tell you, I said it many times. I really believe it that if the New England Patriots go on to win this game, I think it's a greater achievement them having won 3 and 4 years than when we did it in the 90s.
These would have to be considered the 2 best teams in managing the cap, scouting players, getting the most out of their rosters. As Reed carries it out to the 26, a return of 19 yards, and we look at the offensive leaders for Philadelphia in the day for McNabb. 2 touchdowns, an interception, 241 yards. Just so you know, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history, the Redskins trailed by 10. That was early, and then won 42-10 against the Broncos in Super Bowl 22.
But I think going back to the defense holding them to a field goal there, at least now the Eagles, they got to get points here. But whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, it gets them right back in this game.
Saw that graphic. It hasn't happened. Coming back from 8 or more points down in the second half in Super Bowl history, as Westbrook carries it for 2 yards.
And I think you got to be careful about running the ball right now. I think that what Andy has shown throughout the game, trying to stay balanced even when they've not gotten a lot out of their running game, I think at this stage of the ball game, you've got to start being a little bit more aggressive with your play calling.
And if they can get things spread out here a little bit, because clearly now New England has gone to trying to help these corners a little bit now, you might be able to work Westbrook underneath and do some different things short to him.
2nd down and 8. McNabb fires the pass to Terrell Owens into the open field.
Look out.
Terrell Owens getting it into Patriot territory. They'll mark him out at the 37.
And you take a look at Terrell Owens on the outside. Again, the respect that he gets. The corner's going to turn and bail, and he breaks to the inside on the slant route. And this is where Terrell Owens is most dangerous. Get the ball in his hands. He's a hard guy to get down, and he's showing us a little something there, Chris, with the speed.
Yeah, I agree. And as soon as I come out and say they're out there helping the corners, they go right back to that single coverage that they gave up the long drive on the first time. You can't do that on the outside. Stay balanced out there. Keep helping those guys. It was working.
Levin's in motion on 1st down. McNabb fires high, and the pass is intercepted by Bruschi. Levens flashing across the middle. McNabb was too high, and Teddy Bruschi, one of the defensive leaders for the Patriots, was there waiting for it.
Well, Chris, they did. They went back to the 2-deep coverage. They got safeties over the top, taking away the outside receivers. So now the vulnerability of this defense is in the middle. You're going to see L.J. Smith go down the middle, but there's no one there to throw the football to. You've got linebackers there. Donovan McNabb makes a poor decision, throws a flat ball. Just not a good decision or throw on his part. Great play by Teddy Bruschi reading Donovan McNabb.
And we talked about how Tom Brady manipulates a defense with his eyes. That time, Donovan McNabb knew. He stared down the receiver all the way. Teddy Bruschi, who was freed up in the middle, got a great break and made the play.
First down, New England. They hand it to Dillon. And Corey Dillon, who's playing for the first time in the postseason in his 8-year career, carries it for 3, brought down by Hollis Thomas.
And how about Teddy Bruschi? Here's a guy that was a pass-rushing defensive end in college. In his 3rd year, a linebacker, Todd Collins, an inside linebacker, goes down. And they come up with a brilliant idea. How about if we move into inside linebacker? He said he'd never taken a pass drop in his life until his 3rd year in the pros. And right now, as we saw last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers and now coming back here, he has gotten pretty darn good at it.
2nd down and 7. They stay with Dillon. Dillon stays on his feet, gets it out to the 29, picked up 2. Brought down by Javon Curse, who really has not been a factor, and that says a lot about the night that Matt Light has had.
Well, this time Javon Curse coming back, and I can tell you, once you get cramps in your legs, it is awfully tough to get back on the field, but Curse is still out there battling. They call him the freak, and maybe football is the only game in the world where you can go up to somebody and say, you're a freak, and they say thank you.
Well, you can just about say right here that if the Eagles don't stop him on this 3rd down, game's pretty much over.
3rd down and 5. Blitz. Brady chased, and he throws it away, and the Eagles defense stiffens up on 3rd and 5 and comes up with a huge stop. Burgess with pressure.
Yeah, really good job there by this Eagles defense of getting the ball back into their offense's hands, and they bring pressure once again. Derek Burgess just doing an outstanding job on this play, taking on 2 blockers and still able to get to Tom Brady and force him to throw the ball away.
And you really can't blame Brandon Gorin on that play. He wasn't expecting Brady to roll out that way. He actually did a pretty decent job.
So the punt coming from Josh Miller. With 5:48 to play. Decent punt. And the fair catch called for and received by Lito Shepard. So has the city of Philadelphia waited a long time. L.J. Smith hit immediately by Harrison. Gain of 3. Moments ago over on the sideline, Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb. Owens telling McNabb just to relax.
Well, that's always easier said by a wide receiver. You know, I mean, it's hard to relax when you're the quarterback and you're playing in a Super Bowl and you're trying to come back from 10-point deficit with just over 5 minutes to play.
2nd down and 7, and they throw it quick. A juggled catch is made by Greg Lewis. A gain of only 4. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I think they're calling that incomplete. It looks like the ball came off and hit the ground, and good call there by the officials. Well, did it ever get to the ground?
I'm not so sure. I think that ball was juggled, but I'm not so sure that hit the turf. Let's take another look. His hands are underneath it. That should be a catch.
Yep.
So instead of a 4-yard gain, it's ruled incomplete, and Andy Reid brings Terry McCauley over to the sideline.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has challenged the ruling on the field that the pass was incomplete.
That's a catch.
The receiver had both hands under the football. It is a completed catch. It'll be 3rd down on the 29-yard line. There is no charge timeout.
So Reid's 2 for 2. He gets the extra challenge, and it's 3rd and 2. There's Bruschi, who came away with that last interception.
Yeah, and you've got to believe that they're in 4-down territory right here, and much easier to try to convert 3rd and 2 than 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, which is where they would have been.
And you think run, but this really is not much of a running team. You have a Corey Dillon, maybe you try and pound it in there twice, but I've got to believe the ball is going to go in McNabb's hands.
Yeah, that, and you're contending with time on the clock, so I would fully expect a pass.
On 3rd down and 2, the pass is caught. Owens started the play in the backfield, then was in motion. And Terrell Owens gets 5 and a big first down for Philadelphia.
And I got to tell you, I mean, we talked about Terrell Owens all week long and the speculation as to whether or not he would play. And the night that he's had, of course, thrown 210 times with 8 receptions and 112 yards, I don't think anybody, the most optimistic of persons, would have thought that he would have been able to come in here and have the impact that he's had in this game.
I bet you Terrell did.
McNabb hits his fullback Perry coming out of the backfield, and Perry ends up fighting for 2 yards.
And again, another errant throw by Donovan McNabb, and Josh Perry going to the ground keeps the clock running, where otherwise he's at least able to get more yards and get out of bounds and conserve time.
But that's classic Belichick right there. They're going to give you your last option, and there's no question that Josh Perry is the last option in this offense right now.
How many Philadelphia fans are screaming at the TV saying, hurry up? And the pass is too high for Freddie Mitchell, who has still been shut out. Now it's 3rd down and 8.
Terrell Owens at the bottom of the screen.
Blitz coming from New England. The pass is caught. An unbelievable catch by Terrell Owens. Unbelievable.
Terrell Owens, as we were talking about, has really shown up big. I mean, you're talking about a guy basically playing on one leg, 5 weeks removed from having screws put in his ankle, and coming out on this out route with Asante Samuel blanketing him with coverage. That's good coverage right there by Samuel. Good throw, too, by Donovan McNabb. But good job of Terrell Owens stretching out and pulling that one in. Big first down.
First down for Philadelphia. Play action, McNabb in trouble. Using his legs down the middle of the field, and he underthrows Owens with Bruschi thinking about his 2nd interception.
Boy, and Jarvis Green that time brought the pressure, and McNabb really just never had time to set his feet. He had an opportunity here, but because of the pressure by Green, he just couldn't step into it and get the ball there.
Yeah, they're trying to get a home run throw here to Greg Lewis over the top, but I mean, New England, they're so well coached and they anticipate situations so well, they're not going to give up a big play.
They missed an opportunity to Westbrook on that one down the other sideline.
2nd down and 10. Was ugly from the beginning. They don't throw a flag as McNabb got it. It looked like before he was ready to get it. And no gain on the play, and now the clock will continue to run.
Well, McNabb was trying to signal for motion from one of his backs, and Hank Fraley snapped the ball. And they are letting a lot of time click away here.
Unbelievable how much time they're spending in the huddle.
I don't understand this at all, not getting into a no-huddle offense and trying to keep as much time on the clock as possible.
Just walking up to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 10. Another blitz from New England. McNabb over the middle. Pass is complete, and that's another first down. This time it's Freddie Mitchell, who is understated with really no celebration. That's his first catch of the night.
Well, even Freddie's walking around. You got to get him lined up and get on the ball, and they're still going to the huddle.
This is remarkable. I mean, Hank Fraley, the center, was saying, come on, get up to the line of scrimmage, and then Donovan called him back into the huddle.
Just looks like they're worn out.
I don't know. There's no excuse for being worn out. This is a Super Bowl.
McNabb throws, and the pass incomplete. It was behind Westbrook.
And there was a ton of room to run. If Westbrook makes that catch, they're going vertically down the field. There had to be a 20-yard gap. If Westbrook catches that ball, he's going to be running for a while. Yeah, buying time once again, and you're going to see there's just nobody there. Dexter Reed was probably the closest guy, some 25 yards away. Look at all the space in behind Westbrook here.
The Eagles practice went through a typical walkthrough. The Patriots had their family on the field. They took a team picture. It was more of a family moment than a football moment. And here they are doing their thing in the Super Bowl, leading by 10 with just over 2 to play. Westbrook gets it on the dead sprint, has a first down, and that will take the clock to the 2-minute warning. Minutes left. Philadelphia with a first down. At the New England 31, the ball is in the air and now to the ground, incomplete. The critics were wrong. Terrell Owens was right, and he has been miraculous in his effort and his recovery with what he has shown here tonight.
You know, the funny thing, what did they expect Terrell Owens to do? As a player, your obligation to your team is to go out and do everything you can to get on the field. If Andy Reid doesn't want to play him, don't play him. But how could you be critical of Terrell Owens in that situation?
Second down and 10. Minute 55 remaining. Westbrook at the top of your screen. Down the middle of the field. Lewis, touchdown, and Philadelphia's not finished yet. We said early that Greg Lewis concerned Belichick much more than Freddie Mitchell, and it's because of his speed.
Yeah, Freddie Mitchell just does a great job running the route. He gets Reid turned and just does a terrific job there. Actually, it's Greg Lewis on the touchdown, but does a great job getting the safety turned and getting the touchdown.
A minute 48 remaining, and it's a 3-point game.
And the injury once again to Eugene Wilson showing up here. Dexter Reed, really no match for the speed of Greg Lewis. Eugene Wilson is a guy that, had he been in the game, he's someone they feel comfortable playing on any receiver. But again, not helping, wanting to bring pressure, leaving single coverage in the secondary just surprises me a little bit. Every time that they've helped these cornerbacks, they've played much better. Why do you give up an opportunity to go down the middle of the field when you got a 10-point lead? Let them go the slow way.
Well, I think Bill Belichick's asking the same thing. He doesn't quite understand it. You're right that they should have had help over the top. All of a sudden, you go across the board, man on man, and Greg Lewis is able to beat Reid for the touchdown. Not a difficult route, and certainly not a difficult throw.
Well, don't forget now, Philadelphia had to burn one of their timeouts in this half. So when you're trying to decide, do you want to go onside kick or kick it deep, I think the fact that you had to burn one timeout and waste that one timeout now means you have to go for the onside kick.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any question that Andy Reid has to attempt the onside kick because of that fact. They have 2 timeouts left.
Andy Reid, one of the best in the business. There are the timeouts in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Donovan McNabb, by the way, has thrown for 356 yards in this game. That's the 4th most in Super Bowl history. But he and the Eagles trail by 3 with a minute 48 left.
Boy, just when you think you're comfortable and things are going just right, all of a sudden you get burned with a big one. And you kind of go back to that Miami Dolphins game earlier this season where it looked like it was going to be just a comfortable win for the New England Patriots, and it slipped away on a major mistake by Tom Brady at the end of that game. But right now, you'd almost have to believe they've got to recover this onside kick to have a shot.
Akers will try to get that good bounce. Get it up into the air. And it's right into the arms of Christian Fourier. The New England Patriots take over. They lead by 3 with a minute 47 remaining, and the ball will be marked at the Philadelphia 41. Tailback. And he gets it running to the left side down to the 39, and Philadelphia will spend their second timeout. Belichick for much of the game stands over there without any paper in his hand. How many coaches can say that? It's all in his head. Second down and 8. Falk gets it. And Falk is to the 36.
But if they don't pick up this first down on this next play, they're going to have to, well, maybe they won't have to punt the football. Conceivably, they could go for it in 4-down territory.
A 4 wide receiver set for New England. 3rd down and 5, and they hand to Falk. So they tried to spread him out and then run it. Falk brought down by Curse, no gain. And that will bring up 4th down and the decision by Bill Belichick. They're going to bring their punter, Josh Miller, onto the field.
Yeah, and by not picking up any more yards than what they were able to there, good decision here by Bill Belichick. Just trying to punt it down inside the 10-yard line and make Philadelphia go the distance to try to come away with a field goal and tie this game up before the end of regulation.
And my guess is they'll probably just let the play clock expire. Backing you up 5 yards at this part of the field might actually help the punter.
Instead, Larry Izzo, their special teams ace, turns around and calls timeout.
Charge timeout.
Not even anyone back for the Eagles.
And it's up to Miller to try to pin it down inside the 20. It takes a New England bounce. And not trying to get too greedy. Down there, 2 down it is Dexter Reed. They'll mark it at the 4. And when I say not trying to get too greedy, you're inside the 5. Don't try to go too crazy and let it get down near the goal line, make a mistake, and put the ball back at the 20.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you totally. I was saying the same thing, take it. But if he had been able to back up a little bit and had that ball roll, because there was no one back there, they probably could have run another 5 or 6 or 7 seconds off that clock.
So 46 seconds remain. And Donovan McNabb, a guy who was booed when he was drafted out of Syracuse, the 2nd overall pick in '99, will try to get the Eagles into field goal position here in Super Bowl 39.
And they're going to be in 2 deep safeties this entire drive, I guarantee it.
He'll have to throw from his end zone, chased down by Seymour, drops it off, and the pass is complete, but that's the bad news.
Should have just knocked that pass down.
Westbrook hauled it in. A gain of only 1, and the clock continues to run.
The receivers were all the way down the field, and now they've got to come back. And once again, this 2-minute offense looks like a disaster for the Eagles.
Extra men on the rush. McNabb throws down the middle of the field, the direction of Terrell Owens. 17 seconds remain.
Well, now they get a chance to get into the huddle and regroup. But what you got to do in that situation, rather than trying to call the play at the line of scrimmage on 1st down before they broke the huddle, they should have called 2 plays in the huddle at that time, so everybody knew what was going to be run on 2nd down. When you've only got this kind of time on the clock, you don't even have time to communicate that much on the line of scrimmage, and anytime you can minimize it, you try to do that.
It's going to be almost impossible for them to have a completed pass and run another play. They're going to have to really hustle.
They got to throw 2 Hail Marys.
Down the middle of the field, and the pass is picked off by Harrison. Rodney Harrison takes it in, and 9 seconds remain, and the New England Patriots are on their way to solidifying their team as an NFL dynasty.
And Freddie Mitchell started the week by saying, "I got something for you, Rodney Harrison." Rodney Harrison finishing the week saying, "I got something for you, Freddie Mitchell."
In the 60s, you think of Green Bay. In the 70s, the Steelers. In the 80s, the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys in the 90s. And the New England Patriots will be the first dynasty of the 21st century.
And I think the thing, Joe, that was so impressive to me watching the New England Patriots here tonight is, you know, yeah, there were some things that went against them early in this ball game, but every time they had to step up and make a play, they made a play. Now they just got Bill Belichick and his father with the Gatorade bath.
How about that? Even Steve got to experience the Gatorade bath here.
That's it. And it's another 3-point victory for the New England Patriots in a Super Bowl.
Just remarkable. If you knew Bill Belichick when he was coaching with the Cleveland Browns, they had 1 winning season there, and to now say that his record in the playoffs would be better than the great Vince Lombardi, I don't know if there's a person in Cleveland that's not scratching their head a little bit and saying, "Are you believing what we're seeing?"
There's no better coach in the game today than Bill Belichick. second year in a row, and for the third time in the last 4 years, the Patriots celebrate winning the Lombardi Trophy.